What up, y'all? It's your homeboy Justin, and we back in my bathroom one more again. And I have a question for you. Have you looked at you today? You poppin'. Have you looked at you today? Okay, turn to your neighbor and ask this. Have you looked at you today? You poppin'. So the reason I want to start off this video with this lovely, lovely bit of words of affirmation by Christina Coleman is that today's video is going to deal with something that I think we may all run into one time or another, just having locks, and that's dreadlock envy. So I just want to take this week's video into a kind of like an encouragement type of talk. So we're just gonna chill, we're just gonna, get comfortable, we're just gonna talk, just gonna me and you, whoever else in the room. We're just gonna have a little conversation, all right? So keep on watching. As always, if you didn't see last week's video, I actually gave y'all 2 videos. So if you didn't watch either of those, check that out. But yeah, let's just jump right into this, all right? So the reason I want to talk about this is because a subscriber who also follows me on Instagram, he was asking me about what to do with his locks. He's in like the first year, I think, and his locks are kind of frizzy. He started his locks with starter braids. So he had his hair braided into like three stranded braids, and he's been using that to lock up. So he's doing that process, which is fine. You can start your locks ever if you just want to start with just starting them as singles, or doing 2-strand twists of your hair and then making those into locks, letting those locks combine, or letting the hair combine, or doing braids. Whichever method works, or if you want to do extensions. I mean, I wouldn't do that personally, but do you, boo. So yeah, but okay, anyway. So he's starting his locks with braids. He's been having trouble with his locks really forming, and he's getting a little bit, I would say just a little bit, not impatient, but he's wanting his locks to look better than how he thinks they look now. I personally think they look fine, but again, everyone's lock journey is different, and if you're not enjoying the journey, then that is kind of one of the things where we have to kind of take a step back and figure out how to get back to the place where you can be happy with the journey, okay? So first of all, he was talking about the frizziness of his hair. With frizzy locks, and that's something that I just naturally have, like my locks, there's a little bit of frizz, if you can see that. There's some frizz here. But the way that I cut down on my frizz is I use coconut oil every so often when I moisturize my locks. Also, to cut down on frizz, I sleep with a satin bonnet. Obviously, some people have a little bit of reservations, especially if you're a dude. You're like, I haven't put no bonnet on. Like, what the hell are you talking about? But I'm just saying, like a satin scarf, a do-rag, maybe just sleep on a satin pillowcase, something so that way your locks aren't getting pulled by like cotton fibers as you're sleeping, because that will be one of the reasons why your hair is frizzy. As far as frizziness goes, one of the things that he was also talking about was new growth frizz. So obviously, you have your locks, and then as your hair grows, you get new growth. And what he was having trouble with was getting the new growth frizz to remain with his lock. And one of the things that I had said to him and mentioned was that you can interlock your locks when you retwist. I did a video about that too, about just combining your locks, like on the either interlocking or just twisting method. But this also goes for just retwisting your locks. When you retwist your locks, you can interlock as well, and just take your lock and weave it within the root of its own self. So that would help. Another method, if you do have frizzy roots, you can actually take a needle and thread, gather all that loose hair together, put it in the thread, in the needle, and then just pull it on through. So, I mean, you can do that a few times, take a few passes through a needle, don't hurt yourself. You can also use a pretty blunt needle because, you're not trying to sew a t-shirt or nothing like that. But do those 2 things to kind of help with the frizz, okay? And then another thing that he was also talking about that he was kind of unhappy with was how his locks were looking. And from what I could tell from his photos, again, I think they look fine, but again, it's how he's feeling about his locks, and again, that's the most important thing here, is how you feel about your own hair. He was saying that he felt like his texture, I think with his hair texture, that's maybe why some of the disconnect is coming from with how his locks look like as opposed to other people's locks. With your hair texture, like if it's 3C4, C4B, all those different types of hair types, right? Depending on what your curl pattern is, it's going to determine how your locks are going to form and how they're going to look like once they formed. If you have really tight curls, like I would say I have tight curls, and my afro is pretty afro-y. So this is what my locks are gonna look like. They're a little bit frizzy. That's how they go, but for the most part, they're pretty locked, except this one needs to be combined. But yeah, they're pretty locked and they're pretty tight and dense in terms of like they're pretty dense, like with hair, in terms of the density and all that stuff. From his photos, it looked like his hair was a little bit of a looser curl texture. Not like a full like 3C curl pattern, but definitely in between that and what I have. So his hair is gonna have a lower density, and so it's gonna look a little bit smoother, a little bit lighter in terms of how much hair is in each lock. And I think that also has to be taken into account. Like definitely make sure you understand how your hair type affects how your locks will form and how they will look. Same thing if you have straighter hair textures. Like I know there's like people who have straight hair who have locks. Actually, my one mutual friend, Jess, she had dreadlocks, she has straight hair, and then she cut them off. But obviously with her having straight hair, it wasn't as tight of a lock as this was. Although she still had locks, they were very thick, but again, your hair texture, your hair type will determine all that. So I just think all those things you have to take into account when you're in your hair journey. But I'm saying all that to say this, I can see that all of these thoughts about my hair doesn't look like these other people's hair, or my locks don't look as good as this guy's hair, this girl's hair, it's coming from a place of uncertainty, of just wanting to get down to the real point of it is like you just want your hair to look beautiful, right? You want your hair to look good. So I'm gonna turn that around. And this is the thing too, because this is where your motivation and your inspiration turns into like jealousy and envy. And that's where you don't want to be. You want to have things to be motivational so that way you know where your goals are. Like for me, instance, I have pictures that I have on Tumblr, or on might now have a Pinterest page, so if you want to check that out, the link is in the description box. But I have a Pinterest board of just all these different types of people with different types of locks, whether it's dyed locks or natural locks. And when I mean natural, I mean like freeform locks, or manicured locks for people who have dreadlock mohawks, dreadlock mohawks for people who have just a high top fade with dreadlocks on the top, where it's very short, or it's very freeform, or it's not even completely formed. Like just the multitudity that dreadlocks come in is on that board. So check that out if you need any other type of inspiration. But you need to have those, you don't need to, but if you need images, go find places or go to places and websites that have a plethora of different images of men and women with dreadlocks that look how you want your locks to look. Now, again, your locks aren't going to look how their locks look. Like my hair, when I was starting my dreadlock journey, I was definitely looking towards people like Lenny Kravitz is one of them, but like Jasmine Rose, who's on YouTube, Francesca Ramsey, who else? I can't really think. This model Alexander Masson, or however you say his name, I'm not sure, but he's this French Brazilian model who's got locks. But I'm just looking, like I had images of how I want my locks to look. I knew that my hair wasn't going to look like that, but just to know that they went through the same process that me and you are going through right now, growing our locks and trying to grow and trying to make them longer and healthier and thicker, or whatever you're trying to do with it. The fact that they made it to where they made it meant that I could do it too, which means that you can do it too. Yes, my hair is long now, but y'all saw that, what was it, that video I did was like 2 years and 7 months or whatever, where I showed y'all where I started. I had a fade. A full-on fade about 4 or 5 years ago, okay? So long process, yes, but doable, also yes, okay? So you have to take that and remember that and keep it positive, because once you get to that like jealousy, envy part, it gets kind of negative, and then that also makes you think that your own hair isn't, beautiful or isn't like deserving. So you want to make sure that you are like growing your own perfect crown, if you know what I mean. Like the locks on your head are yours and you're the only person who has them. So take pride in that, and really treat your locks well, okay? So maintain them if you want to maintain them. use different types of oils that have the properties that help to supplement areas that you need help in. If you want shine, take an oil that's got shine booster. If you want to cut down on frizz, coconut oil works with that, helps with that. If you want to add strength to your hair, use an oil that has a lot of vitamin E, like either olive oil, or you can even take vitamin E supplements, which I do both of because I just want my hair to be popping all the time. So make sure you know what to do, which is, you know, while we have people on YouTube like myself or other influencers that put out information out there, what to do. And also remember, you don't have to look at just people who have dreadlocks. Look at other people who do natural wellness things that help facilitate growth of healthy natural hair. Like Hey Friend Hey, she's got a lot of good DIY recipes and just like organic supplements and things you can do for your hair. Okay, find people. I ain't the only person on here. There's a whole giant well of knowledge on the internet. Okay, so go to the people and just, you know, look up the information or whatever. Do that. Okay, do that. And remember, your hair's gonna grow unless you have some type of vitamin E deficiency, or you are suffering from alopecia, which, you know, is a real serious thing, and that's a thing too. But otherwise, just make sure your diet is good. I even made a video that, you don't even have to watch the video, but there's in the description box, there's a whole bunch of information on what type of foods you want to eat in order to promote the best health for not only your hair, but also like your skin, nails, your body, all over, okay? So click that link, okay? Do that as well. So yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Just, you wanna have pictures, you wanna have inspiration, okay? Don't let your inspiration turn into jealousy. Don't look at other people with locks and think, oh, their locks are so beautiful, mine are just so ugly. Think instead, their locks are so beautiful, and mine are beautiful too, and one day, they will be as long as theirs. That's the only real difference, is the length. Unless they have a different color, which you can dye your hair, or it's a different thickness, and if it's thicker, then you can always combine your locks and do that too. But just speak words, speak positivity, and speak words of affirmation. So like I said at the beginning of this video, have you looked at you today? I know this sounds very funny, but I love the clip of these little girls. This lady, Christina Coleman, she used this chant for a group of girls, I think somewhere, I'm not sure where, but I was listening to Another Round, the podcast, Another Round's a great podcast, you should listen to it, where they started out with this thing and she was saying, she's like, I want you to look around the classroom, look to your neighbor and say, have you looked at you today? You poppin'. Turn to someone else and say, have you looked at you today? You poppin', okay? You gotta start saying them things, okay? Because sometimes the world ain't gonna tell you that every day. So you have to at least be the one person who's gonna say that, okay? So when you wake up in the morning, when you getting yourself ready for the day, okay? Make yourself feel loved, okay? Because sometimes, you know, the world be crazy, okay? A lot can happen in a day, and you can have a bad week at work, but just make sure you tell yourself that you're gonna get through it, your hair's gonna grow, you're on the right track. If you're doing the things you need to do for your hair to get where you want it to be, you'll be fine. The only thing you have to do is just be patient and wait, okay? Wait on it, okay? Because your day will come. And hold on, even with that, the caveat with your day will come is that you may even get to the point where your hair gets to where you wanted it to be, or you thought you wanted it to be, and then you realize, I still want my hair to be even longer. I mean, that's the thing about the journey, is that there's not really a destination, which is why it's called a journey. It's not a lock location, it's a lock journey, okay? So just stay firm with the process. You're gonna be all right. Don't be jealous of other people's hair. Don't be envious of other people's hair. And if anything, just use the inspiration to give yourself an idea of what you want your locks to look like, okay? All right, you hear what I'm saying? You feel better? I hope you feel better. These are my words to you. I hope this was encouraging, I really do. If it was, give it a thumbs up if you liked it. A question that I want to pose to you guys this week is just, for those who've gotten over Unloc'd envy, what helped you get over dreadlock envy? And for those who may feel like they've identified with dreadlock envy, I want you to write in the comments, what is it about other people who have locks that make you feel envious and or jealous about this, okay? I want to remind everyone, this is a safe space, okay? This, my particular channel, I want this to be a safe space to have discussions like this. So jealousy, although it may be a negative emotion or thing, I don't want people to feel ashamed about it. You know what I mean? Like, I can admit it. I was jealous of people with locks too, and you know, but it's not like oh, don't be. It's like to recognize that we have those emotions and just to express it in a positive way and to analyze it and to see where we can build upon that is a good thing. Okay, so there's no shame in it. So just be as honest as you want to be. You don't even have to answer the question, but let me know in the comments below of how you got over your lock envy or what makes you envious. And through this video, hopefully we can start a dialogue on how to get over that and how to work through that, okay? Well, thank y'all. Always, like always, please subscribe if you haven't. Click on the bubble at the end of the video. Click on the red button below this video. Click on the bell notification icon. That will let you know when I upload videos, which is usually weekly. Sometimes it's not, but y'all gonna roll with me anyway, and I appreciate you for staying. And also, don't forget to hit me up on other types of social media. Snapchat is cool. I be on there kinda, sorta, I don't know, it depends on the week. I'm on Pinterest now. There's an inspo board on there of pictures of people with all different types of locks. I try to find as many different types of things to come to procure on that thing. That wasn't the word I was looking for. Oh, to curate, that's the word. I'm trying to find as many photos to curate in terms to make a very like cool and well-rounded board of different types of pictures for inspiration for dreadlocks, okay? So with all that said, I hope this video inspired you or was like a little like, you know, it's okay, take a breath. I'm not the only one who feels this way. I felt that way the first year of my journey. If anything, watch this video about my ugly phase or the ugly phase, okay, the first 2 years and how to kind of navigate that. Because I had even more information than this video about dreadlock envy and just all those different types of emotions. Because it's a hard journey, okay? It's not, life ain't easy and neither is a dreadlock journey. I tell you what, that's just, at least mine was not, or is not, because I'm still going through it. But you know what I mean, okay? Well, I'm gonna stop rambling and we gonna finish this video. So if you have not seen last week's video, click up there. There's a playlist right there of other Q&As or just things. I'm not sure what's gonna be there, but something will be there. And then again, subscribe right here for that notification, okay? I will see y'all later. Remember, keep it locked. Peace.